What is your name, please?
My name is Jasper Michael Jackson, and I'm 15 years old. People say a name can shape you, follow you, or even haunt you. Mine did all three. I grew up hearing echoes of a man I never met, a legend, a name so big it was almost too heavy for my small shoulders. Kids at school would whisper when I walked by, some shouted it boldly. Hey, Michael Jackson. Look, it's the Pop King. Do the moonwalk? Sometimes they laughed. Sometimes they meant it kindly. But every time I heard it, a strange ache bloomed in my chest, something between pride and sadness. I didn't understand why their words touched me so deeply, why that name felt like it belonged to me in some way I could explain. I mean, I loved music. I loved dancing so much that my body moved even when I tried to keep still. But lots of kids like music. Lots of kids dance in their bedrooms when nobody's watching. So why me? Why that name? One evening, after a long day of pretending their words didn't bother me, I finally asked my mom. I remember it so clearly. She was in the kitchen stirring a pot of stew, humming that soft melody she always hummed when she was thinking about something deep. I stood there leaning against the doorway, trying to gather enough courage to ask the question that had lived in my heart since I was 7. Mom, why do people call me Michael Jackson? She paused, turned slowly, and when her eyes met mine, I could have sworn I saw tears forming. Not sad ones, but the heavy, meaningful kind. Then she smiled, a smile so gentle it almost hurt. Jasper, she said, you are. Michael Jackson. I blinked, confused. Then she chuckled softly, wiped her hands on her apron, and walked closer until she could cup my face. I don't know how God did it, she whispered, but you look so much like him, my child. Sometimes when you dance, I feel like I'm watching a shadow from another time. He was the biggest legend the world ever knew. And it's a blessing, her voice trembled, a blessing to have a child who carries even a piece of him. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to smile. Part of me wanted to cry. Something cracked open inside me, this mix of pride and sorrow, like my heart was too full for my chest. I whispered, but Mama, I never even met him. And that's when the heartbreak hit me hardest. Because suddenly I realized what I'd been mourning all along, a connection to someone I'd never touch, never speak to, never think, someone whose music held pieces of emotions I didn't even have names for yet, someone who danced like joy and sadness were the same thing. Mum hugged me tightly, resting her chin on my head as if she understood the grief I hadn't spoken aloud. I know, she said, and I know it hurts, but legends don't have to be met in person. Sometimes their spirits live inside you in ways you can't explain. Her words stayed with me. For days, for months, for years. Every time I looked in the mirror, I tried to see what she saw. I studied my own reflection, the shape of my eyes, the curve of my cheekbones, the way my hair fell, the way I moved when music played. Sometimes I caught a glimpse of something familiar, something larger than myself, and sometimes I wondered if maybe, just maybe, God had given me this resemblance for a reason. But the sadness never fully went away. The sadness of knowing that even if the whole world saw a legend in me, I still felt like a boy trying to understand who he really was. I dreamed sometimes strange, vivid dreams of a man with gentle eyes and a soft voice telling me not to be afraid of who I was. Becoming in those dreams, he didn't dance, he just stood beside me like a quiet guardian, like someone who knew the weight I carried. And every morning, waking up from those dreams felt like losing him all over again. But today, something inside me shifted. I don't know what changed. Maybe it was the sunlight through my window. Maybe it was the beat in my head that refused to quiet down. Maybe it was the ache that finally turned into strength. Whatever it was, when I picked up my notebook and wrote a new song, my first real song, I felt as if my heart was speaking directly to him, word by word, line by line, like I was bridging a gap between earth and heaven, between a boy and a legend. And when I finished, a strange calm washed over me. I whispered into the quiet room, I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you. Thank you for the legacy you left behind. Thank you for opening a space in the world where someone like me could exist. I know I'll never meet him. I know I'll never hear his voice calling my name or feel his hand on my shoulder. But I also know this. My song tonight will reach him, not through sound or fame or applause, but through the invisible thread that connects souls across distance and time. My name is Jasper Michael Jackson, and maybe I wasn't born to replace a legend. Maybe I was born to continue on in my own way, with my own voice, carrying a love and a sorrow I don't need to hide anymore. And for the first time, I'm proud of the name they call me.
Every hallway, every classroom, they whisper when I walk through. Look, it's Michael Jackson, like a name I never knew, but I carry it like a heartbeat, like a shadow on my skin, a face inside the mirror. I don't know where I begin. And maybe I'm too young to understand why your ghost feels close enough to touch my hand. I'm just a boy in the shadow of a legend, trying to find my way, trying not to break again. You never knew my name, but somehow you still got me. In every move I make, it feels like you're beside me. I wish I got to meet you, but this is what I'm left with. A song reaching to heaven from the shadow of a legend. Mama said it was a blessing, said the world adored your line. And sometimes when I'm dancing, she swears she sees your spirit rise. But I feel the weight of stories that the wild remembers well, and the pain of knowing I can't tell you everything you helped me feel. So I close my eyes and hope you hear the voice of a boy who wishes you were here. I'm just a boy in the shadow of a legend, trying to find my way, trying not to break again. You never knew my name, but somehow you still got me. And every move I make, it feels like you're beside me. I wish I got to meet you, but this is what I'm left with. A song reaching to heaven from the shadow of a legend. Maybe God placed a part of you in me, a spark, a step, a melody. Maybe my heartbeat learned its rhythm from the echoes of your legacy. And though you're gone, you're not forgotten. Your light lives on inside my soul, and every note I sing tonight will chase the dark and make me whole. I'm not just a boy in the shadow of a legend. I'm finding who I am, and I'm learning not to bend. You never knew my name, but still your spirit finds me. And every tear I shed, it's like your wings surround me. I wish I got to meet you, but this is what I'm left with. A song reaching to heaven from the heart of a boy you never met. To the shadow.